First night. What actually happens for an Amish bride? Have you ever considered what it actually is like for an Amish bride on wedding night? There is no glitz, nothing lace, no scent in the atmosphere, just a basic white gown, a quiet room, and customs spanning hundreds of years. The aspect that might surprise you, though, is there no pressure, not high expectations, no perfect night to really live up to. What then transpires? For a time, let us enter their universe. Everything in Amish society is done with intention, especially regarding getting ready for such a significant event. From her wardrobe to her personal cleanliness, every element conforms to custom. The Amish bride showers before the wedding night. This is hardly some leisurely, candlelit, musical bath, though. There are neither store-bought beauty items nor lavender bubble baths. It's just ordinary water and a block of homemade soap, usually created from lard, lye, and water, typically using natural materials. Not scents, not colours, not chemicals. Why then so basic, since opulence is considered in their minds as haughty? The Amish hold that one should live modest and avoid flaunting looks or bringing attention to it. One avoids scented lotions entirely, as well as perfumes. Not even deodorant is usually missed. They decide to retain their natural aroma since they believe that true beauty comes from inside, not from what you apply on your skin. Regarding shaving, there is no guidebook either. Some ladies do it, some do not. Personal decision fully is up to you. There is no obligation to adhere to popular outside world beauty standards or adopt any one look. Many of us could find this to sound like something from the past. For the Amish, though, it's a means of keeping rooted. Being natural, humble, and clean appeals to them as beautiful. That is their approach to get ready. Now, regarding attire, forget anything you have seen in movies, lace nightgowns, or silk robes. An Amish bride dons a modest white gown. Made from basic cotton, it lacks embellishments, no stitching, no gloss. Just soft, free cloth meant for comfort and decency. That white garment, though, has significance. It represents fresh life's beginning and innocence. While contemporary brides might be more concerned with glitz, the Amish bride appreciates the meaning behind her attire. Simplicity to her is attractive rather than dull. Beneath it is the same narrative. Not fancy lingerie, not brilliant colours. Just practical, comfy, breathable cotton underwear. Full coverage. It is not about trying to please everyone. It's about upholding the humility, grace, and function above fashion principles she grew up with. The Amish do something rather different in a society which tells brides to appear flawless on their wedding night. They go for serenity above performance, comfort above accepted criteria of beauty. In other words, above tangible objects. And here's something else you might find shocking. Amish brides go without cosmetics. Not very at all. Without a foundation, without lipstick, without a blush. Their wedding face is their plain one. True beauty is how you live, how you love, and how you carry yourself. Not something you make with brushes and powders. Jewellery? That is also forbidden. No necklaces, no earrings. Not even a wedding ring. Indeed, it's accurate. Rings are not exchanged between Amish couples. Rather, their dedication is demonstrated in their shared living, interpersonal relationships, and respect of their beliefs. Thus, while most people fix on wedding night apparel, romantic lighting, and brand perfumes, quietly, calmly, and with much purpose, an Amish bride enters her new life. Not shining. There is not drama. Simply a calm heart, a pure soul, and a peaceful start to a lifetime relationship. Deep religion, peaceful living, and great family loyalty define the Amish way of life, and that covers their attitude to marriage, especially the first night as husband and wife. The Amish live quite differently from the rest of the world, although most of them concentrate on romance, love, and great expectations. Wearing jewellery, not even a wedding ring, is not part of a bride's wedding attire in Amish tradition. They say decorations and accessories take attention away from spiritual connection, which is what really counts. Therefore, an Amish bride simply does not follow the road taken by many modern brides who spend hours matching earrings with necklaces or choosing the ideal diamond. Gold or silver does not reflect her dedication. It is seen in everyday treatment of her partner and respect of her faith. Think now about entering their bedroom. Rose petals do not exist here. There is not any soft music, not one fragrant candle flickering in the corner. Like their house overall, it is modest, quiet, and straightforward. Usually handcrafted, the bed takes front stage in the room. Made from either cotton or linen, the sheets are simple white, zero lace, not any needlework, just comfort and usefulness. In this universe, beauty results from utility rather than ornamentation. And here's a little-known custom. Some Amish groups have the bride and groom not even share the same blanket. They use different quilts, because that's simply how it's been done for decades, not because they're far off or uncomfortable. Not often does sharing the bed imply sharing everything in it. Another item that functions somewhat differently in Amish homes is privacy. Even on the wedding night, many families share one roof, parents, siblings, grandparents, so there is never perfect solitude. The couple occasionally will spend their first night in a guest room or another area designated within the family house. Outsiders would find that unusual, but for the Amish, it is daily life. Now, the first night is free from pressure, which truly distinguishes the Amish. Hardly at all. Many times in our society, intimacy is expected straight away. But in the Amish universe, the first night is not about physical contact. It is about emotional proximity. It is about starting a life together with knowledge rather than urgency. Some Amish couples would customarily engage in bundling, which means sleeping in the same bed, completely clothed, perhaps separated by a blanket or even a board. Why? To create an environment where emotional bonding could flourish without rushing right into physical closeness. Though bundling has essentially disappeared, the concept behind it still exists. Love develops gradually, and rushing is not necessary. Some modern Amish couples do decide to be intimate on the first night, but this is their decision, not what society or custom demand. What counts is everyone feels ready. Marrying is viewed in Amish society as a lifetime covenant. There is thus no pressure to speed anything. Given the lack of honest communication about this new chapter, you may be asking how Amish brides psychologically get ready. Amish brides receive virtually little direct guidance, unlike many modern couples who go through premarital counselling or study books on married life. Parents and older people hardly discuss intimacy freely. Most young women learn quietly, from hushed conversations with close friends, little clues, or messages spun into sermons and family values. Still, Amish daughters grow up knowing the essence of what marriage entails, raised with strong values, modesty, respect, faith, and loyalty. They are early on aware that marriage is more than simply physical. It is a spiritual link based on trust and common goals. There is not a makeover physically, not one spa treatment or beautification regimen, simply a nice bath using homemade soap, a little nightgown, plain white, feeling clean, present, and at ease takes front stage rather than appearances. That first night does not concern performance or perfection for the Amish. It's about beginning a journey, together, softly, and with love anchored in something far more than appearances. The Amish experience of the first night of marriage is quite different from what most people picture. There is no rush for anything, no Hollywood-style moment or candlelight romance. Rather, it's a quiet, modest stride into wedded life. And for many Amish brides, it's a voyage of discovery. To tell the truth, many Amish brides get anxious on their first night. Also, who wouldn't? Their upbringing has been in a society where love subjects are not freely spoken. Before marriage, there is minimal experience with flirting, dating, or even physical touch. That is a brand new universe when that door closes and they are alone with their husband. Certain brides are hesitant or uncertain, not fully sure what to anticipate. Others approach the evening with peaceful acceptance under the direction of faith and trust. The crucial point is that pressure exists nowhere. On night one, no one is hoping for magic. Love in Amish tradition is not something that flares up right away. It develops gradually through shared life, trust, and compassion. Many Amish couples actually spend their first night simply conversing. They might pray side by side. Their hands may be held together. They might only side by side fall asleep. And that is quite acceptable. No rule book, no timer, and no audience exists here. Only two people starting a lifetime trip together. Though not in a cold or mechanical manner, the Amish understand intimacy as a mix of emotional connection and obligation. It is not unduly romanticized, and it is most definitely not taken lightly. It is something holy, intimate, and something that gets more powerful with time. One Amish bride once told me, the first night seemed more like a peaceful understanding than a big event. We did not have to hurry, she remarked. Our whole lives we grew to know one another. And it sums it up rather nicely. Some brides first feel distant or uncomfortable, but they eventually get more at ease. One realizes that marriage is not a race, it is a path. The first night is really one little step on a far longer trip. Now, given the abundance of common myths and rumours available, let us dispel some of them. One myth holds that Amish brides know nothing about intimacy. Not actually true is what I say. Although they do not receive official talks or open lessons, some Amish girls do pick bits and pieces from quiet chats with mums, elder sisters, or married friends. Others arrive with very little background. Much relies on the family and neighbourhood. Still, they are not totally ignorant. Another widely held idea is that the family either monitors the pair on their wedding night or stays nearby. Not true, once more. Though the pair usually stays in the bride's house for a few evenings, the first night is private. Nobody is on duty as a guardian. Nobody is listening in from here. The community honours that this is a holy moment. Now, there is a clear difference when we contrast more contemporary Amish customs with their past ones. Years ago, intercourse was sometimes postponed for weeks. Though little more than sometimes just conversing or lying side by side, night after night, newlyweds would share a bed. That ancient custom, known as bundling, was all about first fostering emotional intimacy. Younger Amish couples now have somewhat more independence. While some decide straight once to get intimate, others still take their time. Still the basis is patience, respect, and humility. And here is something many people are unaware of. Honeymoons are not something Amish couples embark in. They neither fly to romantic vacations nor investigate hotels. Most couples visit the bride's house once the wedding is over. Often in a little room within the same house, they remain there for a few nights. Imagine marriage and then spending your first night just down the hall from your parents, siblings, or grandparents. That sounds embarrassing for most of us, but for the Amish it is quite natural. In their universe, privacy appears somewhat differently. Still, the newlyweds are given respect and room even in a full house. Ultimately, the first night among Amish people is not about performance, emotion, or perfection. It is about starting something significant, quietly, gently, and with faith. No pressure, no show. Two people, two hearts, and a lifetime pledge among other things. Forget late morning enveloped in white sheets, brunch in bed. The morning following her wedding night starts for an Amish bride with intent rather than pampering. No specific treatment or just married pass exists. Life continues when the sun rises and she does as well. Amish homes do not stop the rhythm of life for romance. Chances start early, and the society runs on habit. Now formally a wife, the bride quietly fits into her new role. No honeymoon phase or adjustment period, simply a natural step into a life she has been raised to cherish. Rising with the other women in the house is her. If she is married into a farming family, she could assist with breakfast preparation, kitchen cleanup, laundry, or animal feeding. There is no surprise about this change. From the moment they can walk, Amish girls grow up seeing and understanding these obligations. When they are brides, the responsibilities seem natural. Still, the air seems to be quietly changing. She no longer fits as a daughter. She is a wife nowadays, a fresh house, an alternative schedule. Even if that link is still silently developing, a fresh bond exists. The elegance with which Amish brides enter this next phase is amazing. Though there is little outward celebration, the simplicity has strength. No luxury, however, neither chaos either. The aim is clear and the expectations are obvious. The lessons none one says aloud. There are not wedding night recaps over coffee in Amish society. Group discussions have no humorous stories shared, not even to their closest friends. Brides typically don't discuss of their first night, that is, of what happened. That does not mean they are left alone, though. Amish women have a sort of unwritten custom, a network of quiet instruction. Wisdom cannot be given on through lectures. It is expressed in little, subtle ways. A reserved glance, a group assignment, few quiet words while hanging clothes or working on dough. Occasionally, an elderly woman may show a young bride how to create a special meal for her spouse. She might softly suggest patience, about compromise, about respect during that moment without calling it anything. Though the lesson is plain, nobody claims this is how marriage works. Amish brides pick their knowledge from this perspective, from hands that have stirred, sewed, reared children, and loved quietly for decades, not from textbooks or counsellors. This is a modest strength, soft but consistent, that will honour the bride into her new life. Still, a puzzle. What then actually occurs on that first night in that modest bedroom with thin walls and no expectations, we might never be really certain. That is the emphasis here. The Amish people do not share, not ashamed, but rather out of great admiration. Intimacy in their culture is something intimate and holy. And perhaps there is something rather wonderful about stillness in a society when oversharing has evolved into a sport. Grand announcements do not exist here. Not a lot of spectacular fireworks. Just a quiet beginning. A whispered confidence between two people beginning something meaningful. None of outside noise. Not any analogues. Not only presence. Perhaps the most unexpected aspect of all is that, in a life based on simplicity, the first night of the Amish bride is about what doesn't happen rather than what does. There is no pressure, not judgment, no written work. The first night of the Amish bride is about patience, purpose, and modest beginnings, not about passion, performance, or perfection. The Amish approach is unique in a society when every event is publicised and dramatised. No pressure, no spotlight, only a profoundly intimate step into lifetime commitment. Though their customs seem antiquated, underneath them is something timeless, a respect of closeness, a respect of simplicity, and a conviction that love develops with time rather than speed. Therefore, keep in mind that somewhere, in a peaceful farmhouse with handcrafted blankets and candlelight, love is starting in a different way the next time you consider wedding evenings dotted with rose petals and silk. Should you find this window into Amish life to be intriguing, be sure to like, subscribe, and forward. Have questions or misconceptions you wish us to look into next? Post them in the comments. Let's discover the world behind locked doors together.